Well, good evening, good day, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Cluster API Provider AWS office hours on Monday, the 14th of November, 2022. A reminder that we abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, so please be kind to each other. I will share the meeting notes in this window, in the chat window in a minute, and also share them via the meeting. Can you please add yourself to the list of attendees and add any topics that you may want to discuss? Looking at the agenda, it's fairly light today. So yeah, if there's anything you'd like to add, please do it. Just a reminder that we also use the raise hands feature if you'd like to talk. So hit that button in Zoom if you'd like to talk. And if this is your first meeting and you'd like to say hello, please just unmute yourself and say hi. There is no pressure though, so it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll just say hi real quick. I'm just joining in from Adobe. We're embarking on Cluster API, Kappa and CapZ. So starting to get folded into these meetings and get generally plugged in. So no action items or agenda items for today, but I expect to be around a bit more.
That's great. Yeah, well, welcome, Brian.
Yeah, welcome.
Cool, right, let me share my screen. So hopefully everyone can see the meeting notes.
Yep.
Cool. So it's a really light it's a really light agenda. So there's no PSAs this week, as far as I'm aware of. No one's added any. And looking at last week, well, meeting 2 weeks ago, there were no action items recorded. So no additional action items. These were the ones that were talked about afterwards. I guess I didn't go to that meeting because of I got a bit confused with the time zones. I added it in my calendar in the UK time zone and not Pacific time. So I guess if any of them action items from 2 weeks ago relevant for discussion this week?
I think AMI renaming still remains open. I was trying out few things in the open PR, but didn't get it to work. I'm still trying to.
Okay, so I guess we need to take that forward, don't we, post 2.0 release and try and get a solution to that.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's explicitly take that as a action, shall we?
Sure.
Cool. And then I guess what else was there? I guess this one, my name against it was from I guess a month ago now. So I didn't actually create an issue on release management in the end. We sort of, I guess we got to a consensus, didn't we, in that meeting where it sort of works now. We don't need to fix anything. It doesn't look broken. So I could just create a discussion, maybe if people had ideas, but yeah, I didn't do that in the end. So I'll put an X against that. Cool. Alrighty. So moving on to the agenda items. So I've only added one, which is the 2.0 release that we are just trying to get out as soon as possible. So I guess it would be helpful, wouldn't it, to go through what is outstanding review-wise and change-wise, if everyone doesn't mind doing that now. Cool. So if we go across to issues. So I got a feeling is that there's not a lot outstanding. It's just reviews and merging. I've got one break-in end-to-end test, but I know how to fix that, and I'll do that later today. So if we look at the 2.0, so I might as well just start from the top and go downwards. So reintroduce AWS managed cluster. So this was complete and working until this morning when I added a new end-to-end test, because we are going from having a single kind to represent the infrastructure cluster and the control plane to the two separate kinds. I updated all the original end-to-end tests to use the two separate kinds, but there was nothing to cover the original use case that people were still using, which is having that single kind. So I I added a end-to-end tester this morning to still cover that legacy scenario, and it broke. So I need to fix that. But when that is fixed, that one is good to go. And Kito, I know you went through this V1 Beta 2 API changes.
Yes, correct. So the maximum parts of whatever bits and pieces we mention in those will be covered as part of this API change. I think only one we have left out, that is AWS managed machine pool field deprecations. So that we said that we can delay it to V1 Beta 3. So, but rest all whatever PRs were required are raised now. So only thing pending is the reviews.
Cool. Yeah, we should probably create a issue to track API changes for the next version bump, shouldn't we?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can do that afterwards, but I will take that as an action item as well.
V1 Beta 3.
In my head, I typed 3. But yeah, I didn't quite communicate with my hands. Brilliant. Yeah, so there was one question in here which related to a very old document. We were originally tracking API changes, but that actually had the link as an old link, so we can ignore that. So I think we're good there. Deprecate the disable VPC CNI field. There's a PR for that, isn't there?
So I have created one PR for this. I was not aware that there is an open PR for this. But let's see. We can review the new open PR, or because this was only deprecating it, it was not removing it. I'm actually renaming that field itself. So I mean, refactoring the field itself in the PR. So maybe folks can have a look in the PR itself.
Yeah, cool. Just to be crystal clear. Ah, there it is. Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, I can definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think who did the cloud controller manager and the security groups? That's Daniel, wasn't it?
I started working on that. And oh, did you open it up?
Sorry. Yep. So that's the issue, isn't it? So
Oh wait,
if we go
wait, what? Oh, I think I misread. Sorry. Managed security should also get tagged. Oh, that's the issue. Yeah, that's the issue.
yeah. So if we go to
yeah, I guess the idea with, I think, security groups, subnets, route table, as well, is that because you can bring your own infrastructure to create an EC2 cluster, but Kappa will still so you're not required to bring all infrastructure, just some of it, and some of it is optional. And so when you don't bring that, or when you don't provide that optional infrastructure, like I guess subnets and security groups, I wasn't aware about the route tables. I'm not sure 100% about that, but we want so if Kappa creates those, it would tag them in a way that they would be recognized by the cloud controller manager. But that's not the case if you um, if you have an existing, let's say, security group or subnet. And so that's what we're, I think, trying to address. That it gets that CCM tag. And so I think there is there's that PR. I have a to do on that. I think. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank on what that is. Okay.
Yeah.
What was it?
Oh, so that one was waiting for that to merge, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's a strange one too, because that did merge, but now this still has this PR still has that commit, even though it should be rebased on main now. But yeah, sorry, I'm trying to find. There was a to do. Oh, yeah, for removing, I think removing the tag. So if you provide your own security group, it's not something that Kappa creates, and it's not something that Kappa will delete. But since it adds the tag, it should presumably delete the tag as well. Although, yeah, it's a little bit less. It's a little bit less clear, because I don't know that there's a way for Kappa to really know whether it applied the tag or not.
Yeah. I guess you could use another tag. So say
Yeah,
did the tag.
yeah. That I mean, yes, there are options, but I don't know if there's. Yeah, it's kind of an odd situation, but yeah. Anyway, I guess follow up on the issue itself.
Cool. Yeah, and these were stacked, weren't they? So yeah, so do them in this order. So 3844 and then 3845. Yeah, cool. Cool. Yeah, I think the whole partially bringing your own infrastructure is a bit problematic, just generally, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's yeah, I would say that, if you're going to bring in some infrastructure, yeah, either you bring it all in, or maybe we say, okay, well, bring in this infrastructure, do not bring in this other infrastructure. I don't know, but it's definitely a little bit tricky, and it seems, I don't know how common this use case is.
Yeah, we use it a fair amount with customers, like more on the consulting side as opposed from a product side. Yeah, because it's custom. Okay, but yeah, so we can review these and get these merged in, can't we? Essentially.
Well, I don't know if that should merge without handling the cleanup in some way of the tag. Yeah, I guess feedback welcome.
Yeah, it would make sense. Yeah, I'll read through it after the office hours. And yeah, but I think you're probably right, aren't you? You should clean up after itself. Cool. So this one was Gogo. Yeah, I guess strictly speaking, this doesn't have to be in 2.0. This was where there was in the end-to-end tests, we were checking a pod to see if it had an IPv6 address, but we never explicitly checked did the list of pods, is the list of pods actually empty? We just did a range, and so we did get into a situation where there was no IPv6 address check actually happening. So next one is, Ankita, you did this, didn't you? This is removing the ARN field from the reference,
Yep.
which I think the normal end-to-end tests were passing, weren't they? And
yeah, the EKS ones are running now. So I'm not sure if the run is over.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, it's done.
So,
Oh, cool. Oh, it's still showing as pending for me.
oh, okay. Not sure why it's okay. Okay, yeah, it's still pending. It was not refreshed.
I've got a failure as well. Yeah, we can have a look at that.
Okay.
This has been happening quite a lot in the tests that I've been running, the end-to-end tests, where it's constantly in provisioning. And
Correct.
never,
Maybe
yeah.
like we have to increase some timeouts, maybe.
Yeah, because I think it's about 30 minutes at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. For EKS, I don't remember, but at least for control planes and everything, we have put it as 30 minutes.
Yeah. So look. Yeah, I've got to look.
I'll take a look. I'll take a
Yeah.
look.
Okay, cool. But yeah, that's basically done as long as we can get the end-to-end test passing on both sides. Cloud controller manager, we discussed that one. Test security group reconcile for unmanaged cluster with no existing security groups. Yeah, that's the same, isn't it? Unmanaged cluster. No.
It's
Yeah.
related. So I think as I was looking at the unit, or yeah, I guess the unit tests, I noticed that there is one unit test that handles that verifies the tags are correctly applied to an unmanaged cluster with no existing security, so with no security group overrides. But the input for this test, I think, was specifically a jeez, no, I can't. I've forgotten everything over the weekend. Let me look at the. So yeah, there was a test security group reconcile. Oh yeah, and it's stacked on the other PR. Yeah, so there's yeah, previously there was just a test that said no existing, and the spec was I think unmanaged, and so I added one that was, or sorry, it was managed, and so I added one that is unmanaged. I mean, in the end, it's the same. It's the same behavior, but you know, if in the future that behavior changes from managed or unmanaged.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool. Yeah, that does make sense. Cool. So I think that's basically it. So then really there's only three things, if I remember rightly. So I need to get the new end-to-end test working on the AWS managed cluster. Then we've got the question of cleanup on the security groups, adding the label. And then just the end-to-end test on the ARM fields. Then that's basically it, isn't it? We should be good to go. Not too much then. It's pretty good going considering where we were last week. So I guess the next question is, would anyone like to do when we get to the point of doing the release, would anyone like to do the actual release and have, run it and then have, me or someone else shadowing? I'm quite happy to do the release, but if someone would like to actually go through the steps themselves and do it. Yeah, we can cross that bridge when we come to it.
I would like to shadow this time. Maybe next time I can do it.
Yeah, because Daniel, you did the last one that you did the 151.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I updated the docs, so it would be nice for a different set of eyes to follow those docs to see if, I hopefully I didn't make any mistakes in in my changes to the docs. But yeah, I mean, I'll attend the release, but yeah, it would be good for someone else to drive.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we can put it on the channel when we get to that point tomorrow, if do it tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, cool. Let's go back to the agenda then. So there is nothing else to talk about on the agenda. So unless
It just occurred to me. So there was a request. I think there's a thread in Slack about another 1.5 patch release to include another.
the provider ID fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Is that already merged in?
I think it.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
So we are good with the for the release, but it's just that we wanted to do 2.0.0 release first. So maybe after that we can take out some time to do this.
Okay.
I would be happy to do this release. So
Well, the 152. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, brilliant. Any more on the agenda? Or we call it a day? Going once, going twice that time. Cool. Well, we can call it a day and get 35 minutes back. Yeah, we'll catch up in the next day or so about the 2.0 release. In the meantime, I'll see everyone on Slack. Thank you for attending.
bye.
All right.
All right.